Hi everyone, welcome back to Shirley's channel. When we open Journey to the West, a grand world slowly unfolds. A world filled with gods, demons, and cosmic politics. In this world, the Buddha, known as Tathāgata, is not just the supreme being of the Western paradise. He is a master strategist, a thinker whose calm smile hides an intelligence as deep as the void itself. He's more than a sacred icon. He's the quiet architect of balance across the three realms. A leader with the vision and precision of a cosmic CEO. So let's peel back the layers scene by scene to uncover the hidden logic, the grand design, and the astonishing wisdom behind the Buddha's ultimate plan. Imagine the three realms as one vast corporation. The celestial headquarters, run by the Jade Emperor, is an ancient, traditional conglomerate. Majestic, but bureaucratic. It governs time, weather, seasons, and the divine hierarchy. Its structure is massive, but its system is rigid. The Jade Emperor, like an inherited chairman, sits at the top. Yet when true chaos erupts, like Sun Wukong's rebellion, this mighty system suddenly appears powerless, exposing a crisis of efficiency and leadership. Then we have the Ling Mountain Corporation, founded and led by the Buddha himself. It's a new force, focused not on politics or war, but on spiritual business and afterlife economics. Its core technology, Dharma. Its business model, salvation and merit. Its workforce, a loyal team of bodhisattvas and arhats. Though the Buddha calls himself a humble monk, his enterprise is powerful, innovative, and expanding. On the surface, the Buddha respects the Jade Emperor deeply. When Wukong storms the celestial palace, the Buddha answers the imperial summons immediately. He subdues the monkey king, restores order, and politely says, "I come here under the command of the great heavenly Lord." It looks like obedience, but beneath that politeness lies subtle strength. Each time heaven fails, it must rely on the Buddha. Each rescue enhances the Buddha's prestige, and every act of assistance quietly shifts the balance of power. Soon, the Buddha is no longer a junior partner, but an indispensable ally, a force that can bail out heaven itself. Their relationship becomes a strategic partnership. The Buddha needs heaven's legitimacy to spread Buddhism lawfully in the East. Heaven needs the Buddha's strength to stabilize cosmic order. It's a delicate dance of mutual need, silent understanding, and political genius. To understand why the Buddha plans so deeply, we must go back to his beginning. Before becoming Tathāgata, he was Prince Siddhartha Gautama, a royal heir in ancient Kapilavastu. He left behind wealth and comfort, refusing the throne of his family's kingdom. He sought something higher, the truth of suffering itself. You could say, he abandoned the family business to develop a revolutionary new philosophy. He tried everything: teachers, asceticism, meditation. He tested each path like an engineer running prototypes. After 6 years of hardship, he discovered that neither indulgence nor pain led to freedom. Then, under the Bodhi tree, he cracked the code, the core algorithm of existence, dependent origination and emptiness. At that moment, he went public. He achieved enlightenment, becoming the Buddha, the awakened one. But enlightenment was only the start. He built a team, the 5 disciples. He established company rules, the Vinaya. And then, he spent 49 years marketing his philosophy to the world. He faced competition, the powerful Brahmins, guardians of the old belief system. He debated them, converted followers, and turned a small circle of seekers into a movement that changed civilizations. That was the birth of the Ling Mountain Corporation. Through that journey, the Buddha became more than a mystic. He became a thinker, a leader, a strategist. He learned that no great truth survives without great organization. After stabilizing his realm, the Buddha turned his gaze east, to the human world of the Tang dynasty. In his cosmic analysis, that land, known as the Southern Continent, was filled with greed, conflict, and suffering. A market of endless pain. A land crying out for redemption. But this territory was already under heaven's management. The Taoist gods ruled there. Direct intrusion would cause conflict, a spiritual trade war. So the Buddha designed one of the most brilliant expansion campaigns in history, the Journey to the West project. A plan so perfect, it looked like divine will itself. First, the official reason. It wasn't conquest. It was compassion. A mission to deliver all beings from suffering. Who could oppose that? Second, the perfect project leader. Tang Sanzang, the reincarnation of Buddha's own disciple, Golden Cicada. Loyal, pure, and royal. Blessed by the Emperor of Tang. He carried both spiritual and political legitimacy. Third, the team composition. His companions, Sun Wukong, Zhu Beiji, Sha Wujing, and the White Dragon Horse, were all former problem employees of heaven. Fallen angels. Redeemed through labor. By recruiting them, the Buddha solved 3 problems at once. He built a powerful team at low cost, gave heaven a face-saving deal, and turned outcasts into heroes. Fourth, the outcome. The 81 trials were not random. They were designed. A guided training program, and a global publicity campaign. When Tang Sanzang finally reached the West, the scriptures returned to China. The Buddha's teachings entered the human realm. The Ling Mountain brand went international. It was, in every sense, a flawless strategic expansion. But if we look closer, the journey's dangers were never out of control. Most of the great demons were insiders. The Blue Bull Monster? Laozi's pet. The Golden and Silver Horn Kings? Also from Laozi's household. The Nine-Headed Lion? A mount of a Taoist deity. The Lion and Elephant Kings? Mounts of Manjushri and Samantabhadra. The Golden-Winged Rock? The Buddha's own relative. Even Maitreya's servant once descended to play a villain. Coincidence? Hardly. It was all a controlled simulation, a grand stress test for the Journey project. Without real danger, the scriptures would seem cheap. Without drama, the audience, the mortal world, would never believe. And by involving Taoist deity servants, the Buddha made sure every major faction had a stake in the plan. No one could oppose it outright. When Sun Wukong was trapped or outmatched, he always had to ask the original owners of those monsters for help. Every risk, every crisis, was under supervision. Even the Monkey King himself was being reshaped, from a wild rebel to a disciplined protector, from chaos to order. By the end, he became the Buddha of victorious battle, a warrior who had learned obedience, strategy, and patience. What looked like chaos was management. What looked like risk was rehearsal. The Buddha had scripted the entire show. So, who is the Buddha? A humble monk serving heaven? A visionary founder of a spiritual empire? A strategist manipulating gods and men? Perhaps all of them. His dark wisdom, his seeming manipulation, was not born of greed or vanity. It was born of compassion, too vast for sentiment. To him, good and evil, light and shadow, are tools. If the end goal is the liberation of all beings, then even the path of deception can serve the truth. This is the ultimate wisdom, the unity of idealism and realism, the courage to shape reality without being consumed by it. It is the wisdom to see all beings as actors in a cosmic play, each performing for enlightenment. And through that play, he remade the order of heaven and earth. He turned faith into structure, philosophy into governance, and compassion into power. He showed that true greatness is not the power to move mountains, but the wisdom to move hearts, minds, and destiny itself. The Buddha, not just the Lord of the West, but the quiet engineer of cosmic balance, the ultimate strategist of the three realms, the one who proved that enlightenment itself can be the grandest design of all. Actually, if you take a closer look at Journey to the West, you'll notice something interesting. The demons in the human world, in the southern continent, aren't really as terrifying as Buddha said. But once the story reaches Buddha's own land, the western continent, near the sacred Mount Spirit, that's where the truly vicious, man-eating monsters appear. So, why is that? How come the land of Buddha is filled with even darker creatures? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today's episode of Sherry's Strange Tales. If you enjoyed this kind of story, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.